Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. You can see I'm standing in front of our Simcha wall, and this is where we celebrate all happy occasions. And it's a beautiful tribute to so many families. We are beginning the book of Vayikra, Leviticus, a very difficult book, you might say. It's unlike Genesis, with all the stories of the founders of the Jewish people. And it's unlike Shemot, Exodus, where we learn about the going out from Egypt, and the receiving of the law, and the building of the first Mishkan. A lot of action in Exodus. And Leviticus, it's the law book, and the laws of sacrifice, to be specific. And at times it becomes very tedious, and we wonder what is the possible connection to our lives. We're talking about actual sacrifices, meal offerings, grain offerings, even animal sacrifices in the Torah, guilt offerings. You see, Jewish guilt has a very long history. Anyway, you'd be surprised to know that Vayikra was the first book taught to children, which may seem very odd. Why would we teach such a book to children? To teach them that sacrifice is a way of Jewish life. And really nothing worthwhile is ever accomplished without some sort of sacrifice and sacrifices that we made in the past. You know, Pesach is approaching, and I was thinking about a story shared with me many years ago by Rabbi Murray Cohn of Vineland, New Jersey. When he was a young teenager, he was in Auschwitz. And in order to keep their sense of normalcy in the midst of chaos, they decided they would attempt to celebrate the Jewish holidays where possible. And they calculated that Passover was approaching. And they wanted to keep it, they wanted to observe it. But to do that, they would have to do without their small bread ration. They would receive this small piece of bread for the whole week. They would eat the potato peels as their matzah. They would drink the lukewarm water as their meal. But they would take the bread ration and give it to others who might be on the verge of death. And a whole group observed Pesach in Auschwitz in 1942. And he said that nobody actually of that whole group died because of death from hunger. And if they had been discovered, they would have been put to death immediately. And he says all of this, and then he, in a sense, tongue-in-cheek says, and why is it so difficult for us to observe Pesach today, in our own day and age, when we have chocolate matzah, whole wheat matzah, egg matzah, all of that, to observe this small sacrifice of doing without bread and observing the holiday. Pesach is approaching. I wanted to show you, thank you, Michael Shore, our president, our giant matzah ball. And we are celebrating Passover in so many ways. I can count the ways, and I may even leave out some. We have the Her Seder. We have the Men's Seder. We have a wonderful candy Seder coming up at the Discovery Museum. We have Seders in our religious school and Seder in the preschool. The cantor and I are doing a Seder at the Salzman House. And then we have our community Seder and your own Seder. But if you don't have a Seder to go to, join our community temple Seder on the second night. It's a wonderful way to share this holiday with your temple family. In any case, Pesach is approaching. Thank you. We're reminded of, wait a second. We're reminded of the plagues, and may we encounter any and all challenges and find our way through them. But Shabbat is approaching as well. This Friday night we have Mini Minyan at 6 o'clock, followed by a dinner, and then 8 o'clock Shabbat services. We hope to see you here. We hope to see you often as we approach Pesach. I know Passover is coming. I saw the matzah at ShopRite already. Shabbat Shalom.